Alright guys, I'm going to do something a little bit different here. I'm going to kind of show the shop here a little bit and kind of go over a few things I'm thinking about and kind of ask for your guys' opinions or thoughts on how a guy should do this. I've kind of shown the shop before. It's kind of an unfinished project. I built this machine shed 10 years ago. We threw the shop in the end of it. It's never been completed, obviously. That wall was done. It had steel on it. It's always been a pain to heat. I have 16 inches of blown insulation up above, and that's what they recommend, and hard to heat. The door leaks. The north wall over here leaks. I'm going to show you guys that in a minute. I've been working all day trying to seal it, and the farther I dig into it, the more I almost got to tear the steel back off the whole wall and re-insulate it. The mice have been in there. The birds got in there somehow. Have the insulation all pushed down, and it's just a pain. But right now, from that door to the back wall is 29 feet. It's 30 foot outside. So it's 30 foot deep, and then my machine shed is 45 feet wide. When I built this shed, I built the main shed 45 feet wide. I put a 16 foot or an 18 foot north lean-to on it. The south wall outside had white steel on it. A year after I built the shed, I ended up taking all the steel back off the south wall, and then we put that south lean-to on where the cattle are now. So I have a lot of this white steel left over from that. But the shop was never done right to begin with. I didn't have enough money. We threw it together. We kind of scabbed it along, and it is what it is. And it's getting to be where, do you keep a shop that's hard to heat and keep throwing firewood in the stove, and it's like you can never keep up with putting wood in the stove, or do you just spend the money, insulate it right, finish it right, go through and redo it, be done, and then save on the firewood? Well, so here's kind of what I'm thinking, and sometimes it's nice to have other people's opinions on what to do. So if you look up here, this 2x4 that runs across the top, I used to hang a canvas tarp down there to divide the shop in half and only heat this side of it. And then it was wide enough that I could get the skid loader in here, and then I always had my 40-30 parked next to it. Last winter I ground feed for a neighbor, the guy that I built the scraper for his pig barn. I probably went over there at least once a week, if not every other week, and we would grind at least a half a semi-load, if not a full semi-load of feed a week for the pigs. Well, now he has his own grinder and stuff for mixing feed, so I no longer have to do that. During the winter, the only thing I really start is my skid loader. And if I built the wall right there at that 26 feet and left it 30 foot deep, it's probably big enough that I could fix most of my stuff in here. I was looking at the combine, and without the head on it, it would fit in here. The combine's about 24 feet long. With the head on it, I think if I took the dividers, or whatever you want to call them, off that stick out farther on a bean head, my old 4400 I had before was a gas jobber with a direct cut head. I had that combine in here, but before I had the steel on the wall, my auger, unload auger, was touching the insulation, and I could close the door and walk around the front, but there wasn't much extra room. So what I'm thinking is building a wall at that 26 foot, obviously taking that wall down, reusing the steel, and either leaving it 30 foot deep or tear that wall back down and extend it 6 more feet so it's 36 foot deep. And the idea behind this is, if I have to tear all the steel off this wall over here, I'll show you this right now, this wall that divides my shed, the main part of the machine shed, to the lean-to. So this is where all my junk is. It's supposed to be cold storage, I guess. It used to be the main part of the shop. So I'm taking the steel down. If you can see up there how all that insulation is pushed down, the mice have been in there. and every time I walk in here I hear mice scattering. Well, when I built the shed, in the corners, I never, between the nailers or whatever you want to call them, I never put anything in between them going up and down along the post, which I should have, would have kept mice from being able to go from one side of the wall, like from this wall to this wall, back and forth, whatever. So obviously the mice have been in there. Somehow the birds got in there. I mean, there was all this. That's a big bird nest I kicked out of there. I mean, stuff everywhere. So I almost have to take all the steel back off this wall and redo the insulation and then seal it. Well, my thinking is take all this back off, take this wall back down, move it over to that 26 foot. That leaves on the back side here, what, 18 feet approximately. Well, if I take that wall here down, if I take this down, I'll take this steel all down, take this wall back down, which won't take me very long to do, move it over to that 26 foot mark, take that back wall down. My combine would fit back here in this area. So that would kind of utilize this space. The combine could sit back here. It's something that doesn't, you know, get used a lot, so I could park him in here, and then I could park the tractor and baler behind him, and the 4020 could still sit back there. And whenever I get a 7400, the idea is the 7400 will stay hooked to the baler all summer until it's time to chop. Then he'll come off the baler, go on the chopper. 6400 I kind of want for cutting hay and spraying and doing the oddball stuff, and then the 4020 obviously. But they could sit on the backside here. But I'm thinking if I took this down, my combine could sit here. Like you see, you'd have from those posts, or from that 2x4, all the way over to here, gives you 18 feet. Combine would sit back there perfect. But I don't know if I want to just build this wall and leave it 30 foot deep, or do I tear this wall down at the same time, move it 6 more feet, so I have a 36 foot deep shop, which it might be kind of dark out in the shed. I can turn the lights on. It's almost 10 o'clock on Friday night here, but when you get stuff going in your mind and you can't sleep anyways, you might as well sit out and think about it. So see, it's going to be dark here for a few minutes, but right now there's a little bit of space here. I'm guessing there's 3 feet probably between the tip of that to the wall here. Hopefully you guys can see this. The lights will brighten up here in a minute, but it's only about 24 degrees right now, so it'll take the lights a few minutes to warm up. But if you count the trusses, you've got 6, 12, 18, 24, here's 30, and here's 36. Well, my unload auger is about 2 feet from there, and we have about 2 feet in the front. So if I extended the shop to 36 feet, I could technically leave the head on and still have room to move around them. Like I say, it wouldn't take me very much. Tear this wall back down, move it out 6 more feet, you know, and recycle all this lumber for doing the project. So cost isn't really a huge factor in the deal. It's just, I'm tired of doing something and redoing it later. So I'm kind of looking for everybody else's opinion on it. But the other idea behind this is I don't want to heat any more than I have to. The idea was, you know, I was going to put a door there so I could go out that way, and I think if I just make this wall at 26 foot and if I left it 30 foot, this door is junk. It was an overhead door that came crashing down a couple years ago, and I converted it into a sliding door. Well, it's on the inside. Obviously it's not going to work in here if I build a wall there, and that's why there's a tarp there, because this door has to be able to slide all the way over there to open wide enough that I can get the corn planter in here. So the idea is this year, it's been on our to-do list for 2 years, and this year it's going to get done. We're going to build a new sliding door, build it nice, insulated, it'll be on the outside, and then we're going to we got to seal the bottom. Right now, if I come out here in the morning when it's been snowing and blowing, I have snow in here 3-4 feet that comes in underneath the door. That doesn't help heating either. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm kind of looking for opinions, ideas from you guys, what to do. Do I leave the wall there? You know, like I say, if the head's not on the combine, there's plenty of room in here to work on them, which I guess how often do you have the head on the combine in the shop working on it? I guess normally if you're working on the head, it's a quick deal. It's not like it has to sit in here. Like if you're servicing the combine and going through it, chances are you're not going to have the head on it. So this is where I'm looking for advice from you guys, or your opinions on it. But I am planning on moving that wall over here to this 26 foot, and then tearing down that east wall there on the back side of that 26 foot so I can park the combine on the other side of that wall. And then I'm kind of gonna 86 the idea on putting a sliding door right there, obviously. So let me know what you guys think. And then the other thing, these windows are awesome during the summer. They let a heck of a lot of sunlight in here. I have my washroom on the back side, which is basically just a catch-all area right now, which someday I want to get finished and pour new cement in there and then actually build an office in there. But that's not in the near future plans, so I don't know if I should take those windows back out. There's a set of windows on the inside and a set of windows on the outside. I'm sure they're not very energy efficient. They probably lose a lot of heat. Either I'm going to take the windows out and insulate it and finish the wall, or I was thinking about getting that pink styrofoam where I can put up there in the winter months and then take it down in the summer months, which I kind of like that idea because, like I say, during the summer they let a lot of light in here. But let me know what you guys think. So I am planning on doing the door regardless. I'm figuring on moving that wall over, you know, and then like I say, it'd make perfect room on the backside for the combine, and whatever. Otherwise, if I were to leave it kind of like this, if I'm going to tear that steel off and redo the insulation in there, and try and do it right so the mice and stuff can't get in there, what I'm thinking about doing is tearing this divider wall back down, taking that mock-up door frame there back off, re-insulate the wall, put the steel back on. Then what I might do, this service door right here on this here, this is even with the edge of the big sliding door. The other idea was to either put a track up there and then mount a canvas tarp, which the canvas tarp that I had was heavy. Mount a track up there where you can slide you know, make it like a curtain. You could open and close it. Then just heat this 20 by 30 foot area, slide open, then have the back side for working on stuff. That's option number 2. Option number 3 is to leave it how it is, just finish that wall, figure out what I'm going to do with this wall, and then not worry about that back wall. But when you're trying to utilize as much space as possible, I think it'd be a better option just to move this wall over here to the 26 foot, be able to park the combine back there, which would make more room in the machine shed for other stuff to sit. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. And I want to redo all the wiring in here, redo the lights. I want to run new air line through the whole shed. I want an air outlet in the outside of this door. I want to run air line all the way down through the machine shed to the back. So no matter where I have a flat tire or whatever, I can air up a tire. So I need to redo all that stuff anyways. When I built this, all my wiring for my lights is up above that steel, and there's blown insulation up above. And the worst part is I can hear mice up there all the time. So all I think about when these lights are on are one of them little pricks chewing through the wiring and starting a fire. Which, everything's insured, but I don't want to deal with the hassle of this thing burning down and having to rebuild it. So I want to redo the lights anyways, and I don't know that I'm going to put the lights back on the ceiling. A friend of mine in their shop, which is much bigger than this, all their lights are about a foot down from the ceiling all the way around on the walls. And I don't know, they have them spaced out about every 4 foot. And if I did that around this area, a 30 by 26, that'd be about 24 light bulbs up there. You know, maybe 26 if you put one next to the door there and one next to the door there. I mean, that's a lot more than what I have now. That one just burnt out right before I started recording. There's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 10 lights in here right now. And it's this bright, so man, if you guy put 24 lights all the way around it and not had them on the ceiling, it'd be pretty bright. So, like I say, let me know what you guys think. Just looking for some ideas. You know, something's got to happen before this next winter because I'm tired of. It shouldn't be that hard to heat. I mean, this is less square footage than the house, and the furnace in the house runs for 5 minutes. It runs out here for 25 minutes, and it's only off for a couple minutes, then it's back on. So, and I like the skid loader being warm in the morning when I come out here, so it's ready to roll. No having to wait for hydraulic fluid to warm up. And the other thing, in the wintertime, I turn my thermostat down. Like right now, it's right now it won't even turn on. Normally I like to keep it at least 40. If I turn the thermostat down below 40, it doesn't turn on. I think maybe if I turn it to about here, it would turn on if it got cold at night. But I like to keep it around 35, 40 in here at night. Come out here, crank it up to 50, and it'd be nice to get up to 50. Be 50 for a couple hours and feed cows, but yeah, in the wintertime I can't get it up over 45 in here. If I set it at 50, the fan never shuts off and it never reaches 50 degrees, so that's the fun part about being in the Northland, I guess. But I have guys that have shops that are bigger than mine and they heat them no problem, so obviously there's something wrong here. And I kind of determined behind that wall, there was this tarp all day today. We've had 35, 40 mile an hour winds. This tarp was just whipping inside the shed. So that's what made me decide to start working on that wall back there, and you just keep digging in deeper and deeper and finding more stuff wrong. So yeah, enough rambling here. Like I say, let me know what you guys think. You know, it's hard to make a decision on your own, so I like to hear your guys' inputs on everything, and we'll go from there. So, well guys, thanks for watching. Point me in the right direction. Thanks.